Right now, what I'd like you to do is get into a comfortable position. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if it's comfortable. Just focus on your breathing. As you breathe in and out, rotate your head around, loosen up those shoulders. Feel the breath enter your body. Feel it filling your body with cleansing, refreshing air. Just follow the breath in and out, in and out. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to do. You're exactly where you need to be right in this moment. On the next exhale, feel all the tension leave your body. You're totally relaxed. There is only here and now. As you continue to breathe slowly in and out, and with your eyes still closed, focus on the following question. Who am I? Let that sit for a few moments. Who am I? And when you're ready, open your eyes and write down 6 I am statements. No censorship, no judgment, just the first things that came into your mind. Take a few moments to sit with who I am or who am I, and then write down the answers, your answers. 6 I am statements. And as I talk, you can continue to write down those statements if you're not quite finished yet. Most people write down things like, I'm a woman or a man. I'm a mother or a father. I'm young, I'm old. I'm an artist, I'm a golfer, I'm a homemaker. Whatever it is, the first things that usually come into mind are a description of your physical self. That self that you present to the world. The self that makes you an individual and different from everyone else. Maybe that wasn't what you did, but whatever it was, what we're going to do now very deliberately is one by one, cross those statements off your list. Whatever they were, take your time and cross them off. And when you're finished crossing them off, close your eyes again. So I'll give you a few moments just to cross those off one by one. Once you're finished crossing them off, take a few more deep cleansing breaths, breathing slowly in and out. Following the breath. Now ask yourself this question. Who am I without that concept of self? If I'm not all that, then who am I? Take a moment. If you aren't all those things, who are you? Now just breathe. Breathe into that awareness that there is a deeper you, a beautiful you, a you that is at one with the Creator, a you that is pure awareness, pure consciousness, and pure being. You are that space that is always there. You are one with all humanity. Knowing that, you recognize that you are a gift. From that place of consciousness and awareness, you know that since you are one with all, your gift is a part of the whole. It does not need to be given, and it cannot be taken away. It can be shared, but it just is. It is always there. The beauty of who you are, the gift of you. From this place of oneness, you cannot hide your gift because it is not yours to hide. It belongs to the one who created you, who gave it to you. You breathe it in and you accept it. You know that it is always with you, as it is always with the all, and you are part of the all. Take another deep breath. And just breathe in, being in that consciousness, that awareness, that oneness. Knowing that there is only one. And you are here because the one created you. With love, with joy, with beauty. And you have a gift that no one else has. It is yours to share. Take another deep breath. And from this place of oneness, think about your gift. What have you discovered? Staying in this state of consciousness and awareness, being totally with all that you are. Open your eyes. Take out your pen and paper and write down your discovery. Again, answering the question, who am I? Write as many I ams as come to mind and sit with them for a moment. As you prepare to come back to your physical self, at this moment in time, you carry with you that sense of oneness. And you know that the gift you have, your beautiful self, remains with you. And it's a gift to be shared with the world. In the words of the song, you are a beautiful gift, like the very first breath of springtime, like the beauty of the meadows, like the stars in the sky. You are a beautiful gift to the world. You are all the joy that love can bring. The gift you are, the gift of you, the gift you are, the gift of you. Breathe it in, know it, accept it, and live it. Let your light shine. And so it is. So you are all that and more. Today, we're talking about the beauty within. And as we said in our meditation, when we think of who we are, we often think of our physical attributes or where we live or where we were born. When we talk about physical beauty, our beauty, or someone else's beauty, we also usually think in terms of physical attributes, especially when somebody asks, who are you? I don't usually say I'm a beloved child of God in whom he's well pleased, even though that's the truth of who I am. I don't usually say that. Why don't I? I don't know. I usually say, well, I'm a golfer, I work, whatever. I usually say things that describe my life, not who I am. The other part is most of us don't really think of ourselves as beautiful. We're brought up not to be boastful or vain. So instead of focusing on our good points, we look at what we think needs to be improved, not realizing and not accepting that we are perfect just as we are. Saint Hildegard of Bingen, in his book of Divine Works, which is written in the Middle Ages, says that I am the fiery life of divine essence, a flame in the beauty of the meadows. I gleam in the waters, and I burn in the sun, moon, and stars. I awaken to life. He wrote this back in the Middle Ages. So even then, people knew that there was more to the individual than what was seen. They knew that there was a beauty deep inside that was at one with all the beauty in the world. I think we know that. But the question is, how do we get to that beauty? Many of us have had years of conditioning regarding things that were, quote, quote, wrong with us. Maybe it's a way, usually physical things, and sometimes the way you thought. Maybe it's weight, maybe it's other physical features. Maybe you were told you lacked patience or you weren't good at something. I'm sure we all have stories. And you know me, I love to share stories. Cool. I'm going to share a couple of stories. I spent most of my growing up years being told by my mother that I needed to lose weight. She constantly had me on a diet, and I distinctly remember the year that I turned 13 when I had a birthday party with my friends, and my birthday cake was an angel food cake without any frosting. Bummer. Did that make me different than my friends? You better believe it. I carried those memories, obviously, I still have them, with me for years. But I finally was able to put aside the weight thing much later in my life when I was going through an old picture album and I saw pictures of myself at that age. I wasn't overweight at all. I was just very curvy. But what I found out later was that my mother always felt unloved because she thought she was fat. Well, the truth is, she wasn't, but she thought that. And she was just trying to protect me because she loved me. But how many of us make judgments on ourselves based on things we've been told or comments we may have overheard, or things that probably aren't even true, but are just in the eye of the beholder, or as my mother? It was hers. It was her prejudices. It was her belief. And she was only trying to protect me. Well, I have another story. Another thing my mother always told me was that I had a hole in the back of my hairdo. Now, somehow to her, this was a big deal. I mean, the hair in the back has to be perfectly perfect. So to this day, even now today, every time I do my hair, I hear that voice in my head and I pull out the mirror to take a look. I know, now you want me to turn around so you can see the back of my hair. Well, let me tell you, I assure you there's no hole in it now. But if there is one, I'm probably the only one that sees it. And does it even really matter? Nobody's going to make a judgment on me because my hair doesn't go together in the back. But I also have to tell you that when I see other people, I do look at the back of their head to see if there's a hole in the back of their hairdo. Now, I don't make judgments on that person. I don't say, oh, they didn't take time, they look like, but I think I'm looking for validation that it's okay to have a hole in the back of my hair. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? What's really funny is, you know, some of you know I had an accident. Most of you know I also had a stroke. So I have some limited dexterity in my right hand and also in my left hand. So it's really hard for me to reach the back of my hair. And when I was in rehab, I really couldn't reach it at all. Now, there was nobody in rehab who was looking at me going, oh my God, she can't do the back of her hair. Look at that. So I kind of sort of I'm not gonna say I got over it, but there was a period of time when it didn't matter because there were so many other things that mattered. But so I now, because of that, I do cut myself a break once in a while, but I'll tell you what I do. If it's really bad, I happen to have very curly hair. So if I do have that little, you know, separation in the back, I just spray it with water and it gets curly. So I have curls in the back of my hair, but I don't have a hole. So I think that we all have those kinds of things that really may not, I mean, they're not true, or they may be true, but they're not who we are. We are not our hair, we are not our weight, we are not our eyes, we're not our nose, we're not our body. That's just what we present. But here's what Ernest Holmes says about other people's opinions. He says, don't fight the opinions of others or waste your time arguing over these things. Follow the inward gleam of your consciousness and you will arrive, because it doesn't really matter. We are perfect just as we are. Now, deep down, I know that. I know it's what's within me that matters, and my true self comes from the one. I know it. As Ernest says, I follow the inward gleam of consciousness and let my beautiful light shine up the world. But I just don't always do that. Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes those voices in the back of my head are just stronger than I am. So how do I change that? How do I let my light shine? Well, I think I have to start, just as we did in the meditation, by realizing how I see myself and the judgments I make about myself. It all begins with self-knowledge and self-acceptance. One of the things we say and use in Science of the Mind is the saying, I am that I am. Meaning really that I am one with God, because the big I am is the creator, the one mind, the one creative spark. But I think before I can get to that place, I have to say, I am as I am. This is me. Not so, as much an acceptance of what you see is what you get, because there's much more to me than what you see. But it's more an acceptance of all the things I am right here and right now. That doesn't mean that I'll never change. I certainly will change, because as Troward said, my mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in our past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. As long as I'm alive, I will continue to grow. But that doesn't mean that I grow because I'm unhappy with who I am. To me, it means that I grow because I know there's more. There's a deeper truth. that is calling me to experience. And somebody once said that when we stop growing, we might as well not be here, because we're put here to grow and expand. And what I do know and accept right now is that I am the beloved child of God in whom he is well pleased. And I know that. I know that I'm here because I was made by the divine creator, the one mind, the one creative spark who is everything and everywhere. He surrounds us. He is us. And we are one with the creation. If I accept that, then I must accept that I am perfect, just as I am. God does not know imperfection. So therefore, he cannot make anything imperfect. And that includes me. I must be perfect because God created me. And if I'm perfect, then so are you. You are the perfect child of God, in whom he is well pleased, no matter what you do. There is no judgment. There is only love. That's all there is. Now, I'd like you to take out your mirrors. If you don't have one, find one. Or use the camera on your phone like a self-portrait. Take a moment and look at yourself. You can even see yourself right now. If you've got your photos up on Zoom, that'll work too. It's better if you have a mirror though, but that's okay. Whatever works for you. Ginger's going to play this next song, and as she plays it, I want you to think of it as a love song to yourself. Listen carefully to the words and know that they're meant for you. Look deep into your eyes.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything that I need. You are
So take a moment to sit with that. You are beautiful. Know it. Feel it. Accept it. And live it. And I'd like to leave you with this reading from 365 Days of Richer Living. If you don't have the book, I suggest you get it. It's a wonderful way to start your day. And if you do have the book and you're reading it, then you'll come across this message because it's March 9th. Witness everywhere the beauty of God, and let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, from Psalms 90:17. I believe it was Plato who said that God is love, truth, and beauty. How evident this beauty is everywhere we look. How wonderful is the landscape, the sunset, or the color of the desert at dawn. How beautiful is the daffodil in its sweet simplicity. And what majestic beauty and strength in the mountain and the wave. Everything is rooted in beauty. Beauty is harmony and right proportion, symmetry and charm and grace and loveliness. Surely we should identify ourselves with this terrific beauty that pours its warmth and color over everything and seems to be at the very root of our being. Recognizing beauty in everything and knowing that God is the very essence of this beauty, I include myself, my personality, my individuality, my whole being in this beauty. I am some part of an infinite harmony, a terrific loveliness, a universal flow of warmth and color and givingness. I claim all this as my own, not because of any particular merits I personally possess, but rather because of the necessity of its being true. I shall no longer think of myself as separate from this beauty or different from it. Therefore, today, to law, to order, to love, to power, I shall add this other thought. Divine beauty is everywhere. In this beauty, I am beautiful. In this infinite warmth and color, I live and have my being. Its beauty flows through every act. Its charm and grace manifest in every moment, in every thought, imparting in love to everyone I meet. Today, I see beauty in others, the charm, the grace, the presence of living, the presence of the living spirit. And so it is. There is beauty everywhere, especially in you. Share your gift, share your light, and live. Take another moment and just close your eyes and let that all sink in. You are beautiful. You are beautiful on the outside, no matter what you look like physically. Your beauty shines from deep within. It's always there. Even on those days when you don't think you're beautiful, you're always beautiful. Let it shine, because it is who you are. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this beautiful world. And as you go about your day, remembering that you're beautiful, pick out a few things that maybe you haven't looked at before, or maybe you've seen but didn't see the beauty in them. And enjoy the beauty that surrounds you. And every time you look into the mirror, say those words, I am beautiful. I know it, I accept it, and I love it, and I live it. Thank you, God. And so it is. And now Bonnie's going to give us a moment of silence.
Thank you so much.